Escalade was on there with me, one of my closest friends and teammates, and he ended up dying. And I just felt compelled, like it was just the right thing to do. I was like all spiritual steroids, or like almost unhealthy. We're spending big amounts of the day, but it was great. At that point, before digital, we were all separated. You don't know worldwide media back then. So like,
Ruslan.
You figure out you're broke. You sell all your jerseys. How did you start to turn it around?
Yeah, so
and when did faith play into it? Was faith the catalyst for you?
Faith was the turning point.
Okay.
But
so tell me about that.
I still hustle. I was always a grinder, no matter what. You know what I mean? I was always a hustler. And I always was into branding and entertainment just by default. I always think back now, like, why was I drawn? I just felt like it made sense because we had that TV show. So for me, it always made sense. And when I noticed YouTube, people in other countries were running up to me and saying, "Oh, Professor," you know, and I would be like, "Oh man, thanks for watching the show." And they'd be like, "No, I saw you on YouTube." So I'm like, YouTube. So I started researching that 06, 07. I had a homie who was an editor making edits just to flood YouTube, not on his channel, not even on mine, because AdSense didn't exist. And literally, Professor mixes that were fan-made. People record the show, make the highlights. Those are getting like 3 million per. So I was like, might as well make my own. Let's go crazy. Let's flood YouTube. And so I was always on that wave. So I was doing one-off games overseas. And one was still in like all over the world. It was in 40 countries. And at that point, before digital, we were all separated. You don't know worldwide media back then. So like, and when Africa thinks that and when USA is still crazy hot because all they got is the mixtapes. You'd still watch media that's a year old and not even know how old it is. So it was still hot. So I'm still playing. I'm being a rock star in these foreign countries, but then coming home and it's not the same.
Were you getting paid decent to do that?
Few grand. I mean,
so not the same.
But it was so few and far in between. I didn't make much per year.
Yeah.
So that didn't start to pick up until about 2010. But I'm still broke. I'm still like compared to like my name and like what you think it should be, and I'm just getting by. I ain't saving no money. So then when 2011 hit, we had just signed contracts to do this other tour that was supposed to be like the next upcoming annual. It's called Ball Up.
Okay.
And Escalade was on there with me, one of my closest friends and teammates, and he ended up dying. So that shook my world up, right? Because I never even had a relative die up until that point. I'm not even a grandparent or anything. So that really shook me up. And then I was already kind of like down just from the whole, everything wasn't really going good. You know what I mean? And I was just kind of uncomfortable. So I went to his funeral. Mark Jackson is his brother, Escalade's brother. A lot of people don't know that. Mark Jackson, the analyst, ex-NBA player. So he was doing the eulogy and went through it. He's talking about Christ, and I'm just like remembering things I heard of as a youth, like at that Christian school.
Wow.
And then preschool. I went to Christian preschool randomly too.
Yeah.
My parents always thought those were good schools to be in. You know what I mean? My mom was like raised Christian too. So anyway, during the eulogy, he did an altar call. And I just felt compelled, like it was just the right thing to do. I can't even say I knew. It was just God's plan. You know, I went up there and did it. But then I like after that really was looking into the faith heavy, like on a much deeper level. I already was going to church out of courtesy. I was playing in a church league, and the dude was inviting me to church. This guy who's kind of like my mentor today. So God was already planting those seeds. And then the altar call, I went forward, gave my life to Christ, and then I was like locked in, looking into it, and I really had a transformation through that.
Wow.
Yeah. So mine wasn't always like, you know, some people sometimes like I was counting the cost of like what it was when I gave my life to Christ, but I didn't fully know. And then like as I looked in, it's crazy. Transformation had happened.
And this is about 10 years ago?
2011.
Okay, so yeah, 12 years, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, my math is bad.
Math is crazy.
So 11 years ago. So tell me this, did you go through like was it like instant where you're like, wait a minute, I've been irresponsible financially, I've been kind of living reckless in these other areas, and you just kind of did a complete 180, or was it more gradual?
Yeah, it was both. I'd stopped going out. I didn't go to no clubs.
Okay, that probably saved a lot of money.
I left behind all my friends.
Okay,
everybody was kind of like a party or athlete or whatever, something in entertainment.
Yeah.
I moved to the Valley, like West Valley, which a lot of people in inner LA, they'd be like, you live out there? Like, that's like past Woodland Hills. Like, you almost Calabasas, you know what I mean? And that was before Calabasas was even popular. But, yeah, so new friends, all believers, started going to church in the Valley. Complete different views on everything immediately. I'm in the Word daily. I was in a study, watching stuff online. I was like all spiritual steroids, We're like almost unhealthy. We're spending
Yeah.
big amounts of the day, but it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Probably
great.
what you needed.
No, it was what I needed. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was actually amazing. And then
Did you ever go through the cage stage?
I didn't even know the word's transformation. I didn't even know the word. I didn't even know what that was until a year in.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I had a transformation for sure. And then everybody identified me as that. They were like, oh, he's, people out of the faith, they'd be like, oh, he's real religious.
Yeah.
Go to the club. Or whatever. So
Did you ever go through the cage stage?
the cage.
The cage stage?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what that was.
We just got to put you in a cage because if you say too much, he gonna hurt everybody around
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do, right?
Yeah, what a lot of people do. What was that like for you?
100% trying to convert everybody you meet.
Yep.
Trying to do it in 20 minutes.
Yep. Take them through Romans Road, try to close them on a prayer like a used car salesman.
Yeah, but I think God was strategic in taking me away from a lot of. I just didn't even have hardly any friends except for my people at the church who I was getting to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then definitely a full transformation then, and then it was a turning point because now everything I do is for the people. I do it to inspire and impact people. You know, and like a lot of times that's a faith thing. You know, like I'm trying to do more. Ministry events for free, just go do them. You know what I mean? Just serve. Like today, that's what I'm going to or whatever. But yeah, so I've been able to impact that way. And then also like I like even being a Christian, I don't think it's bad to inspire somebody to, hey, I want to get back and play ball. Or some people tell me like, you inspired me to pick up a basketball again. I'm 45. I just like to go play and have fun.
That's
or even
beautiful.
Non-ball players are like, man, I'm inspired to do whatever my craft or whatever I do.
Yeah.
Your videos inspired me to do that. Or even like a lot of times people be on their deathbed for cancer, and they tell me, like, I've gotten tons of those throughout my career.
Wow.
Man, I had cancer. I was down. I was watching your vids. Man, it brought a smile on my face, tear to my eye. So I was like, wow, you know what I mean? You can impact people in a lot of ways, but I'm trying to make a more intentional effort, especially nowadays, getting older, to do more like just direct on ministry stuff when I can.
Yeah. That's dope, man. And so there's a transformation that happens about 11 years ago. You're in church now. You kind of cut off a lot of the friends that you would party with. And then is this around the time you started doing your own YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. And was the Spider-Man thing the first thing that really popped off there?
Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see the full extended version of this podcast, be sure to sign up for our Patreon community for only $5 a month. It'll really help us continue contextualizing the gospel using YouTube, media, and podcasting. And in exchange, you will get full unedited versions of the podcast, of our daily after-party streams, a discount for our merch store, and exclusive access to our private Discord server. It's only $5 a month. The link for Patreon is in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment below. If you're feeling like, yeah, I don't think I want to sign up for $5 a month, that's okay. We also have links in the description of this video where you can make a one-time contribution on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. But we really want to get you over on Patreon. So again, hit the link in the description, sign up now, and I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.
And it said that Simeon blessed God.